Hello, techies. Welcome back to my channel where I share tips and strategies on how to succeed in your freelancing career. Today, I have a very special guest, and I call him a badass graphics designer. He's been a designer for over 5 years and still counting. Obviously, he's not going anywhere. But join me, welcome Abireh Emeka.
Thank you so much, Amma. It feels awesome to be here. And for a split second, I didn't even realize you were referring to me. But so good. I'm happy for what you do. Like, you give these people hope. You make them realize that there is more to life than just being a 9 to 5. And I'm super proud of you. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you for honoring my invitation. I've had a lot of persons come to my DM to say, is the only virtual assistant that I can do? There are a lot of skills out there, a lot of test skills that they can, diversify and try. Virtual assistant is not just all there is. There are so many others. And that's why I said, okay, why don't I just bring someone who is a pro in the graphics design industry? Because you have been there for over 5 years. You started from the scratch, you went through the growth process, you saw firsthand what it is to doubt yourself. Am I really sure I want to be a graphic designer? And then from the doubt, you grew to the point you are now, that you can confidently teach over 200 students. And it is that thing that propelled me to have you here today. So welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, so just few questions that I believe our audience would want to know. I remember there was a time I paid you to learn graphics, and it's like I didn't have the motivation at all. At the point I didn't finish, if you remember very well, I had to drop. Exactly. So what drives your passion? What makes you stay motivated in this path?
Okay, so I think what drives me is the urge or the ability to translate people's ideas to reality. You get, from my brand's slogan, or the tagline is called "Ideas Come Alive." I believe everybody has ideas within them that is fighting for expression, right? But not everybody can bring those ideas to life. This is where a graphic designer comes in. If I can translate your ideas to life, there's a kind of joy that comes to your mind. That joy is what fuels my passion.
Oh, that this person gets me. He understands what I say. He understands the ideas.
Exactly.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. So how do you? Because I know that there is a point that you get, and we are human beings, and human beings, you get to that point that you, in as much as you're a pro, you might not want to continue. So what keeps you motivated at that your lowest point?
Okay, this one is a strong one. What keeps me motivated? Sometimes when you feel that you are at a very low point, you realize that nobody's going to pay these bills for you. So you have to first of all motivate yourself. There are times when I get creative blocks and I say, okay, bro, try and eat something. Eat something first. You find out if this is actually fungal, creative block. And many times that I eat, creativity comes back. So sometimes it's food helps. It helps.
Oh,
But then you realize that nobody's coming to save you. You have to save it.
that's nice. Another question is, can you share particularly a challenge project you worked on and how you overcame the obstacles?
Okay, let me confess, I did not overcome this obstacle. This obstacle overcame me.
Oh, yeah.
He shock you.
Because it was at the beginning of my career, right? I have designed for some time and showed what I do. And someone reached out to me and wanted to pay for a logo design. And for someone who is just starting out, there is a joy that comes with someone wanting to pay for your service. It was 2,000 naira at the time.
That was
And
right? Yes.
So I started working. We did the logo. I showed him. He was happy with it. Only for him to come back like an hour later and tell me that his friend does not like the logo. So we went back to the drawing board and did it a couple of times. When he think got too much, I ran away. So I just forfeited the money because he didn't pay beforehand. So I think that was the biggest challenge I faced as a graphic designer.
Okay, so that was at the early stage of you being a designer. Now, as a pro, if you encounter such clients, how would you handle it?
I doubt that I'll meet that kind of client again, because first of all, there are things I didn't put in place with clients. First of all, I no longer start works. If you reach out to me that you want to create a design, if you have not deposited money, all we are doing is gisting, right? We're just gisting until I've seen the money. And I believe a client who has paid money is more likely to be lenient or like work well with you.
Then,
Like-
yeah, that hasn't.
The clients that have given me the highest amount of trouble are the ones who paid less. Those ones who pay high are easily impressed. I don't know if you've noticed it, people. So it's poor man wahala. Sir. If you are poor, but you will no get money, na small thing this expense.
No.
It's like that.
Oh, okay. So, how do you balance creativity with your normal day-to-day activities?
The honest truth is there is no balance, right? So I feel the word balance is a myth. In a way, it's a myth, because for someone who is just starting out, you can't say you want to balance work life and pleasure, because you either choose to have pleasure or you choose to go for work. And right now I'm at a point where I need this money to come in, so I don't have the luxury of pleasure right now.
Okay, for someone who is a 9 to 5 and is looking to get another stream of income, let's say graphics design as a skill. So how would this person balance being a graphic designer on one hand and then go handling his normal 9 to 5 job on the other hand?
Okay, so if you are a 9 to 5 and you want to, let's say, transition to tech, it doesn't have to be graphic design. So first of all, you need to get a mentor. So if you've gotten a mentor, a mentor is someone who should know the way you've worked and has been where you are currently at. So this person now can help you decide on the way your course or your learning can be structured. We can tell you, okay, you just need to dedicate 30 minutes every day. So if you're a 9 to 5, 30 minutes can come in between 4 a.m. and 6 a.m. in the morning. And it can come in between 6 p.m. and 8 p.m. in the evening. But 30 minutes every day for 30 days could be all you need to get into tech. So
Interesting.
So it's not really something that you have to quit your job. You can, that period you came back from work, dedicate 30 minutes every day. And it's you're good.
A little here and a little there. As long as there is consistency, you are saying it doesn't matter even the most busiest person that is doing 9 to 5. You can be able to achieve learning other skills.
Yes.
Any other tech skills.
Yes, I believe we can learn anything. This is my belief. I believe that if you put your mind that you want to learn something and you follow a laid down structure, judicious, you are going to learn that stuff.
Thank you. So what design principles do you think are most important for creating effective visual communication?
Okay. The design principles are all important, right? I cannot say this is the best design principle to follow, but I have a personal favorite. My personal favorite is hierarchy. The reason I love hierarchy is that hierarchy makes me feel like a magician, right? With using hierarchy, I can say that this is the exact information you are going to see first. After this, you're going to see this one, and after this one, you're going to see this one before you see this and this. That's how hierarchy works. So I can use hierarchy to just determine where your eye goes at any point in time in my design. Makes me feel like a magician. That's why I love it.
Okay, that's nice. So how do you stay up to date with latest designs, trends, and technologies?
Nah, I follow Uno Road. So there are people who you regard as industry experts, right? So there are people who follow me, right? So they follow me to know what I am doing, to stay up to date. The same way I also follow people, right? So I don't feel that there's anywhere you get to in life that you become a know-it-all. At every point you get to, you find out that someone has gotten to that point. So it's just for you to be humble, right? Just swallow your pride and follow someone who knows better than you. So I follow people, I follow industries and industry leaders.
And then you get to see different new trends, and there are different ways, designs and everything, and you just learn from them as well. So can you walk us through your design process when approaching a new product?
Okay. First of all, I like to get a brief from your clients. So like I said, you bring your ideas to life. So we want to know what are the ideas you have. So it could be that I want to create a flyer for a party that is coming up. So this is the content of this that I want to be shown on this flyer. So when you give me the content, which is the brief, I go online and say, okay, how has this been done before? So this is the research process. So first of all, the brief, they'll go on to research. So after researching, I say, okay, I combine 5 or 4 ideas. I say, okay, let me create my own. So from that 5, I can now create a sketch of how I want mine to look. And after creating that sketch, I go on to execution before presenting for feedback and maybe adjustments if they need be. But mind you, this process does not really, it's not like a rigid process. There are times that I see a design, a brief, and I already know this is what I want to do, and I go straight to execution. So, but in most cases, I follow this pattern I have listed.
But the main point is there will always be a brief, because
A brief is always constant. Without a brief, you are in trouble because there are clients who will meet you and tell you, wow me, my God. If you hear that, run. See, run as fast as your legs can carry you, because you will never end up wowing that client. So I think that phrase, wow me, is the recipe for disaster.
Okay. Because if you are going to a fashion designer, you can tell a fashion designer, wow me. The fashion designer can creatively do something on the dress, but you coming to tell a graphic designer without telling the graphic designer your company logo, how you want it to be. The designer is not a magician to know all this stuff. So it is important for newbies who want to transition into graphic designs to always ask for briefs.
Always.
Always. It's like that is the first thing you should do when a client comes to you. That's nice.
So please, after asking for brief, don't forget to ask for money. Forget to ask.
Very important. Okay. So who or what inspires your design work, and how do you incorporate those influences into your projects?
What inspired my work? I follow people who like simple, right? I like designs that are simple and straight to the point, because I believe that simplicity is the hallmark of communication. The essence of a design is to pass an information, right? So that is the first thing before we now talk about the beauty of the design. So a design can be beautiful and not pass the message. The essence of the design is not there. So it has to first of all pass the message before you talk about beauty. So if it's passing the message and it's still beautiful, you are good to go.
So you say every design has a message it's
trying to pass. So if you sacrifice a message for beauty, what's the essence of the design?
I'm going to pay you again to learn this art.
All about the money, please bring me enough. The prices are high and all.
Oh yeah, hi now. All right. So what advice do you have for newbies who want to transition into graphic design skills?
Okay, I think I mentioned this before. First of all, get a mentor, right? Get a mentor, someone who has gone the way and can show you the way. And secondly is follow the process, like trust the process. There's this guy I follow, his name is a left child. He says the first skill you must have as someone who wants to learn a skill is obedience. right? And you must be willing to obey without question before you can successfully learn any skill. So I've seen a lot of people who want to learn a skill and you show them do this and they start asking you, what will happen if I do this? Right? You're already planting the seed for your instruction. So at the first step, like I like this Japanese way of learning. It's called shuhari, right? It's 3 stages of learning. You have the shu stage where you follow the master without pressure. Just do everything that he does. Feel like a zombie at that point, right? Then the next stage is the ha stage where you have learned a lot from your master. Then you can now do those things without watching the master, right? Then there's now the final stage where you can now say, okay, this is the stage of the re-stage. It's now the stage of transcendence where you can now bring in your own style, bring in your own flair. This is what makes it easy. You said if you see my design somewhere, you would look.
Yeah.
Right. This is because I have incorporated my own style to my design. Right. But in the beginning, I had to copy the people I learned from before I can now say, okay, let me bring in my own style to it.
You know, it's not just in graphics design. Having a mentor cannot be overemphasized.
So,
It is something that helps your path to success. Because the thing is, there are people that are always ahead of you. In every field, in every industry, they are always ahead. And in order to not make certain mistakes that they have made, they help you align your path. Because they've seen these things, they've seen it all. So they are always there to guide you. So for those that are transitioning into any tech, it mustn't be even graphic designs now. So any tech, try to have a mentor. These people have succeeded before you. They've made the mistakes before you. They've realized their errors along the way. And they've been able to get to the point where they become an expert, an authority in that field or industry. So get a mentor because they will just help you set a lot of things straight.
yeah. So I feel the mentor is like a compass, right? The compass knows the direction you should push him at every point in your journey. So if you follow a mentor and you follow that mentor obediently, the chances of success are very high.
Thank you so much. This is very exciting. Thank you for honoring my invitation. It's so good to have you. I've learned a whole lot of things. At least now I can go home and tell somebody, do you know the Shuari process? You know, say it's learning does not end. It doesn't matter the level, it doesn't matter the age. It's a continuum. So we learn every day. And I'm really glad to have. Thank you.
About learning never ends. I heard one man said that the day you say you stop learning, just go and tell yourself that you have decided to die because that's where your dying starts. So, yeah.
So we, like we mentioned earlier, Abireh Emeka is a badass designer, and follow him on all social media handles at Rexitals.
REXITALS.
Rexitals. And don't forget, he brings ideas to life. And for those who are transitioning or who desire to transition into being graphic designers, Rexitals has tutored over 200 of people in learning these graphic design skills. So don't forget to reach out to him. We're going to be dropping his contact, or you can message me or ask for his contact.
If you reach out through her, you can get a very, very lovely discount. Yeah, tell you. So reach out through her and you get a discount.
And for those who have more questions, you feel we've not been able to touch the question you have had, send it in the comment section and he will be there to answer you. Thank you very much for joining us this beautiful day.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, and see you guys in the next episode. Bye.